there, and welcome back to another one of our segments. This is going to be the final one in relation to the visual art standards. So here goes. This lesson basically has a primary focus in relationship to the condor for connections, relationships, and applications. So what we're going to be doing throughout this lesson is taking visual art, something like this, and relating it to theater and movement. And in a sense, you could also make the argument that you may even relate it to the concept of music. I'll explain why in just a little bit. So here goes. To start off the lesson, in the lesson opening, very simple. All I have my students do to get started is stand up, touch 3 walls in the classroom. I'm trying to get them out of their seat before the lesson starts to give them a short break from being seated for a prolonged period of time. Of course, because they do get tired of me lecturing at them all the time. So simple. Class, stand up real quick, touch any 3 walls you like in the classroom. After that, take a seat, please. After they take a seat, what I would do is showcase a student comic. So what I did, rather than showcasing an actual student comic, I put up an example here. And yes, good thing we're not evaluating this with a rubric because it probably wouldn't meet all of the criteria. So basically a 1-point perspective here. We've got a road, some kind of trees. If you notice, the trees get smaller as they head to the back. Some type of perspective. We've also got mountains and our midline here. So moving right along. What I would do at this point is showcase an example of a student comic. Then again, I would have my students point out all of the details. Okay, so just what are things in it that you see? I see a tree, I see a road, I see a line here, I see a solid line here, I see mountains. So now, after you had your students review that, you would want to review the concept of a tableau. Tableau is again a theater term, and we had reviewed that I think in the movement lessons. So the whole idea of a tableau, simply your back is to the back wall, you step forward and you enter whatever concept of the image. So what I mean by that is my back is to the back wall, I would step forward, enter my tableau, and for my sake here, I'll make this easier for myself. I'll be in the form of a tree. So as I step forward, I would simply do this and hold it for a count of 10 seconds. I am a tree. That's what I want the viewer to understand and to get out of this. I'm a tree. After that, I would simply step back. Okay, my tableau is over. Now, what we're going to do here is take the concept of a tableau and increase it a little bit. So we're taking this idea that was here now and we're bringing it here. So to get started, this activity is called the machine. The machine is a modified version of Tableau. So you start off with a Tableau by just reviewing that. With the machine, there's a difference. The difference is that the Tableau now becomes, it incorporates an element of movement. So if I was a tree, my back's to the back wall, I step forward, I'm in my Tableau. The difference with machine now is that the tree might be moving. Okay, so this is one element of it. So for a machine, to differentiate between Tableau and machine, Tableau is simply getting into it and freezing. Machine is getting into it with movement and becoming a part of it. That's the difference. To incorporate this, right now what I would do is simply review the rules of a machine with my students. If you want them in detail, you can find them in the lesson plan under the implementation section. It's right after the opening. After that, I'd review this with them. Then I'd say, okay, we're gonna practice one time. We're gonna play the mingle game first so that I could get you into groups, and I'd go around singing, a mingle, mingle, mingle. Then I'd say a number like 2, and they'd get into a group of 2. Then I'd repeat it, a mingle, mingle, mingle. And then I'd say 6, and get them into a group of 6. From the 6, I'd have them take their comics with them when they were playing the mingle game, of course, and at that point in time, I'd say, okay guys, you're going to pick your most favorite panel, or pick your favorite panel that you'll find within your comic. After your students pick their favorite panel, they're going to showcase it to the group and present it. And then the group, of course, would make a decision on which panel was their favorite overall as a group. From there, they'd practice a tableau of the panel. So all members, all 6, yes, must become a part. So you might have 2 of them as trees, you might have 2 of them lying down on the floor as a road, you might have several or 2 more of them in the background as mountains, and they're creating basically the image itself. Now, after that, you want to incorporate the whole machine aspect. Okay, so you're going to get into a tableau now of your favorite panel that the group has decided on, and as you're doing so, you're going to enter it with movement. Okay, so we add that part to it. So I'm a tree and I'm moving them. The next part is to add a sound to the machine. Enter my tableau, incorporate movement, now I'm into the machine. Now I'm adding another element, which is sound, which would be so now I'm a tree, but I'm also kind of blowing in the wind and moving through that sense. Now we're gonna take it up another notch. By the way, every time we raise it, so to say, a level, you wanna review and give your students time to practice. And they're working off of that same panel. So all they're doing is building upon it so that the final product is truly their best with the most elements incorporated within it. So step 1, review Tableau, give them time to practice it. Step 2, review machine, give them time to practice it. Step 3, review machine with sound, give them time to practice the At this point, they've already got it pretty solid, so your lesson will pick up a little bit. After that, the next part is to incorporate an even more difficult and more challenging concept. The idea here of the machine is to simply enter your Tableau, incorporate the sound and the movement, of course, but now the group is going to be moving their entire image from one area of the classroom to another. I might say, if this is my classroom, here's corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4. From here I'd say, okay, you're going to start off in corner number 1, enter your Tableau, include the machine, include the sound. Now your whole group is going to be moving across. So if I was a tree, I might be scuttling across. And it makes for a lot of fun. The students are going to have so much fun laughing with this idea. When I run through it in my class, my students are always like, hey, Mr. Revlo, can we do the Tableau with the movement and the sound? And I'm like, it's the machine, not a Tableau. And from there, they always really enjoy doing this type of stuff. To get into the closure here, what I wanted to talk about a little bit is getting students to think of, why did you select that portion that you wanted to represent? So if you were a tree, why were you a tree? And then what were you thinking to help you kind of be a tree? And then to kind of further that thought, well, maybe why did you select that sound instead of this sound? Or, hey, how did you guys plan as a group to kind of move without stepping all over each other and getting in each other's way? Now, not only are you incorporating different levels of Bloom's taxonomy, you're also incorporating different intelligences of the theory of multiple intelligences with Armstrong there. So the whole idea is to incorporate a bunch of things into a lesson that's truly fun and going to be engaging. After that, I might ask my students just a random question to try and build upon it even further. How could we now incorporate some type of music? They might give a bunch of different random answers like, oh, hey, maybe we could play a song or sing a song or chant something as we're moving in our Tableau. Or maybe, hey, the tree could be a performer and the road could be a performer, and maybe they could have some type of musical conversation. And after that, of course, I love to end these with a reflection simply. So, what did you do? Basically 3 questions: what, so what, now what. Question number 1, what did you do? That's it, just an explanation, describe like detail 1. Step 1, we did this. Step 2, we did this. Second question, so what? What's the importance of this type of stuff? Step 3, now what? Now how are you going to use this information in the future? How will it benefit you? How can you incorporate it with other things you do? And remember here, the idea is that we're connecting the visual arts to the concept of theater and more along the lines of dramatization. It was a modified tableau called Machine. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed the machine. Thanks.